Hey everybody, my name is Tiffany Barker. I am the host of the Making Me Matter series, which meets every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am also the author of The Unknown Journey to Joy, How to Transition from Morning to Morning. And I am here with Nate, getting ready to have some girl talk and get a little personal. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.
I ain't that shit.
It's about self-empowerment. It's about self-awareness. It's about self-respect.
So welcome back to another episode of I Ain't That Chick. I'm Nate and I'm here with another fantastic, beautiful, powerful guest. Please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I am Tiffany Barker, host of Making Me Matter, the series.
So Tiffany, you do everything. You're the host. You're very active in church. You're an author. You're a woman, a gorgeous woman at that. You know, Making Me Matter. Tell us a little bit about that.
Making Me Matter is a very intimate call that I do every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And it teaches people how to get in touch with themselves and even the partner or spouse that they're in a relationship with.
So on your Making Me Matter page, there's a quote, and I'm going to read it because I want to get it correct. It says, that broken thing that you keep trying to put back together can't even compare with that beautiful thing that's waiting to be built. And so when I saw that resonated with me. And it resonated with me today. But what does that make you think, or how does it make you feel?
People have a lot of broken pieces in their life. And let me just give you this example.
Sure.
Let's say we take a vase, break it. You can put back the pieces, but there's some pieces you won't be able to find to put back because it's shattered too small and has scattered in a whole different direction. So there's some things that's not worth putting back together. And there's some things that have to be broken for you to say, you know what, it's time for me to get a new one anyway. And then the one new thing that you wind up obtaining or grabbing hold of will probably be better than the thing that you wind up sweeping away anyway.
That sounds a little bit like relationships.
Yes,
and you know, women, we talk about relationships. And you know, Tiffany's a church girl like I am.
Yes. And
you know, there's one thing that you hear in church a lot. And people say, as it pertains to relationships and some things, just wait. Just wait. Just wait on God. And that's the right thing. And that's the beautiful thing. But sometimes the waiting is hard. And I ask you this as it relates to relationships because you were married. And a lot of times, or sometimes when we're in relationships and we know it may not be the right relationship, but sometimes we don't want to let stuff go. And that kind of brought me back to this quote because, you know, something may be broken, and I know I've been guilty of this. Something may be broken and you're trying so hard, Lord, I pray over it or pray over him. You know, God, you can just fix it. Because I don't want to let that situation or that person go. So tell us a little bit about your story.
it's very interesting that you've said that because, and I've learned, and I've said this over and over again, and there's a lot of people that agree, then there's a whole lot that disagree. Just because you're connected to a person does not mean that there's a covenant. So at the end of the day, you might have a connection with someone, but that doesn't mean that that's the one that God wants you to be with. I look at my husband when I was married. Did I love my husband? Absolutely. I wouldn't have married him if I didn't love him. But there were people that said, I don't believe he's the one.
Now stop right there because that's a blow. That can be a blow.
Absolutely.
How did that make you feel when people were saying that?
It made me look at them like they were crazy out of their mind. I said, I know what the Lord told me. He's the one, and I'm going to marry him, and I don't care what it is that you do say, I'm going to do. And look at what wound up happening. I wound up marrying him, and he dies. And I prayed, and I asked God when Dwayne died, a year after he died, because I didn't start dating until a year after. Okay. I needed closure. And I got mad at God. I got so mad. I said, why would you allow me to move 1,500 miles away from my family, knowing you were going to snatch him up out of here? And what did he say? The Lord told me I gave you what you wanted, but now it's time for you to recognize what you need. Ooh. And that kind of scared me because God could have stopped it. He's God. He could have put a stop to anything.
But he gave you what you wanted.
Gave me what I wanted.
And what did you want?
I wanted to be married. I wanted to be a wife. I wanted someone to love me in a way that I've seen love. I'm not wife material, I'm wife qualified. So at the end of the day,
All right, you saw that look, right? That's all right. I'm gonna borrow that one.
look, and it's the truth. Anybody, material doesn't last. When you're qualified to do something, those qualifications stay as a legacy.
That's right.
I'm not wife
They
material.
follow you.
I'm wife qualified. So I said, I deserve to be a wife. I deserve to be able to give love to somebody based on the love that has been given to me.
Did you just want to be married, or did you feel like you just wanted to be married to Dwayne, or was it just your time? It wasn't about the man, it was just my time. And that whole notion of, oh, he's not the one and you need to wait, did that just not resonate?
I don't think it resonated at all about the waiting. I felt that it was my time. I also felt that he was the one.
Okay.
At that time.
Your husband died 2 years into the marriage, and you're thinking, we dated for 7 years. You knew I was coming out here. You knew he was going to die. And why? Why?
I'm going to be honest with you about something. God prepared me even for his death. And because I've dreamt about it.
You dreamt about his death before he died?
I used to dream that I would wake up in the middle of the night and Dwayne would be deceased next to me. So I would wake up and I always sleep on a certain side. So I would wake up and roll over and put my hand on his back just to see if he was breathing and go back to sleep. So I always would wonder, because he had high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. So that was a concern for me. All of that runs on both sides of my family, you know, and so that became a big concern. And so I would dream that he was passing away. So I would wake up in the middle of the night and just feel his back to see if he was breathing. And the day that he died, I felt it, because I called my best friend Asia, one of my best friends, and said, listen, I need you to pray for me. I was at work. It's 5 o'clock. I'm about to leave work. I said, I need you to pray for me. She said, what's wrong? I said, I haven't spoken to Dwayne all day, and I need you to pray for me because I feel like somebody's dead in my house.
Do you feel like you were not trying to make it work, but you were just kind of churning and doing some extra stuff that maybe necessarily wasn't really ever meant or purpose for you to do to make this work?
I did when Dwayne died and when the dad died. They died 3 months apart from each other. And that was just like, ooh, that was a blow.
Now, were you angry at God?
Oh yeah, I was angry at God because I felt like I have such a young life. I want kids. I want a whole lot to take place. And I felt like that was hindered.
Because you didn't have any kids. And how old were you when Dwayne died?
32. I just made 32.
Ooh, you were young.
I just turned 32 6 days before he died.
And so when you ask God, Lord, why? Because some people feel like you shouldn't ask God why.
Oh, he's my father. I'm going to
can't-
ask him.
Or that you can't be angry. How dare you be angry with God?
Job was angry after the first 5 chapters. Job was livid and complained until God shut him up. Okay. So at the end of the day, if I can't go to God and say I'm upset, who can I go to? He's my father. I thought I was God's girl. I thought I was one of his favorites. I'm like, I try to do the right thing. I'm not perfect.
Right.
Let's not get it twisted.
But Lord, I'm serving you.
I'm serving you.
I have relationship with
I tell
you.
people about you, and you're going to put me on display like this? Why did you have to make an example of me?
Why me?
You know, why me? And then he said, why not you?
And it just makes me think like, God, thank you for some of the things I've asked for, wanted, and begged, and pleaded, and been in tears. God, give me this, and God never gave it.
Right, which is why did God not allow that to be my story? I don't know.
But that is such a different take. It's such a different spin. I gave you what you asked for.
I gave you what you asked for.
You mentioned that you had met some people before you married your husband, and the people told you, he may not be the one. So after having gone through everything, the courtship, marrying, and your husband dying after 2 years, if you could go back and meet those same people again, and they tell you, you know what, he's not the one, would you be more receptive to what they were saying?
Absolutely.
Why now?
Because it's too painful. It's too painful just to rethink certain things that your subconscious, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Things just pop up out of nowhere that are out of my control. There's thoughts that pop up that are just
Even
out
now.
Yeah, every once in a while, nothing major, because I'm in a relationship now. I've been in other relationships after he passed.
Okay.
But there's still something about knowing that I was actually a wife, and now I'm no longer a wife, based on a decision that I chose to make, and I didn't take heed. And maybe those people telling me
Was a warning.
was a warning that I didn't know. It was coming from every direction.
Wow. But I still look at it like, God knows what's best, of course. And that's hard to hear sometimes when you want something and you want something to work. And people are saying, no, 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 and God knows best. Sometimes it's not easy to hear. But I look at it still, he loved you enough. And he gave you what you wanted. And it wasn't the best for you. But I'm going to retract that. It was the best for you in a sense because you've learned the lesson. You had to go through and learn that lesson.
I've learned a lot.
And so now it's like, God, I know your love differently. And I know waiting differently. And I know patience a little bit differently.
Oh, yeah. Natalia, let me tell you something. My marriage to Dwayne, my relationship to Dwayne, matured me from a spiritual standpoint that I've never had in my life. It matured me at that time. The reason why I believe that I'm where I am today. And maybe this is what the Lord wanted. The Lord knew, my mother will tell you, the Lord knew I wasn't out there like a crackhead or nothing like that. Right. But I was out there partying, yada, 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 coming in all hours of the night, morning, and then trying to make it to church an hour after coming in to try to still pretend or that I have it all together.
Right.
Or that one of the elders would come to me, where have you been? I haven't seen you. I was out the night before, and so you haven't seen me because I've been tired. So I would just be very honest.
Right.
But it matured me. It made me look at life from a different perspective.
So now, what are you asking God for now?
A break.
A break? I mean, no, but is it still to be like, Lord, I want to be a wife?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But
I
do
want
you
to break
just
from life,
want to
but I
be
wanna
a wife? Just a wife?
No.
Are you more specific about that prayer?
I want to be very specific.
Okay.
I want to be the wife to the man that God has for me. There's a difference.
And that's the piece that was missing the first time
Absolutely.
around. And you probably only learned that by going through that situation. There might be a young lady that's just, praying, maybe me. God, Lord, I want to be a wife. God, I want to be a wife. Lord, I want to be a wife. And somebody, maybe they're not heeding the signs. Maybe they just want what they want. What would you say to them?
A lot of times we talk about waiting. But while you're waiting, get the work in. While you're waiting, work on you. While you're waiting, learn how to get reacquainted with you. I say that a lot on Facebook. I say, I need to get reacquainted with me. I'm stepping away from this. I'm going out, go to Starbucks by myself. I'll chill out. You have got to get reacquainted with who you really are. Because there's no way that you can go to someone with this false way of being, and then when things start happening, the real you comes out because you've never gotten in touch with who you really are. So wait, work, and know that God's going to make a way.
Want to find out more about I Ain't That Chick? Visit our website at www.IAin'tThatChick.com.